What's up, Guardians? Welcome to another Destiny weapon review. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the Hopscotch Pilgrim Pulse Rifle. Now, this is a pulse rifle that is highly sought after by Crucible players because of its ability to kill opponents very quickly and its high stability. Essentially, it's a variant of the Messenger Pulse Rifle that can have higher stability and a faster reload speed. So for these reasons, the pulse rifle, the Hopscotch Pilgrim, is preferable to the Messenger. We'll talk about that a little bit in the video. But as you can see in the gameplay, this is a pulse rifle that's going to be cutting down enemies quickly, and it has a lot of strengths that far outweigh the weaknesses of the weapon. So we'll get into some of the ways that you can re-roll this weapon, maybe tailor-make it to your preferences, and some of the things that we would recommend you use in terms of skills on this pulse rifle when you get your hands on it. Now, this is a pulse rifle that can only be attained through farming the Dragon playlist for the strikes, or by getting it from the Prison of Elders level 28. Now, here's my Hopscotch. It has a few different sights on it. I prefer a lot of the red dot variants. Mine came with Feeding Frenzy when I re-rolled it. I like Feeding Frenzy quite a bit. I like being able to reload a firearm quickly. I'm also using small bore, which is not preferable to some of the other options you have there, like braced frame and hand laid stock, and I have hidden hand on mine as well. Now, this isn't the ideal roll. This is just the roll that I'm playing with right now. Once I stock up on some more parts, I'll probably re-roll it. But there are some variants of this gun that you could be looking for that will play out really, really well in the Crucible. So let's talk first and foremost about the basic stats of the weapon and why you may prefer the Hopscotch over the Messenger. Now, with the Hopscotch, you're going to be getting the same amount of precision damage at 38 when you get headshots. You'll see 38 damage per headshot in this video. See right there. You'll also find that it does 26 damage to the body. Now, those are the exact same stats as the Messenger in terms of damage. It's also the exact same stats as the Messenger in terms of the rate of fire. The number of bullets that you're going to be putting down range per minute is the exact same. So same rate of fire as the Messenger. The difference here is that on the base stats, the Hopscotch Pilgrim has a lower range value than the Messenger. Now, that really does not matter at all in the Crucible, because the overwhelming majority of maps don't have range as an issue. The range value is not going to affect the way that this gun plays out in any way in the Crucible, unless you get into some of these huge maps like Bastion or First Light, if you're playing on the Combined Arms playlist, in which case I'd recommend you run with a scout rifle over a pulse rifle anyway. So does that really come into play at all? No, not really. I wouldn't say that it does. But the trade-off here is that the Hopscotch Pilgrim has a higher stability value. So if you roll hand-laid stock or braced frame, you can potentially max out the stability on this pulse rifle. So it's going to have pretty much zero recoil whatsoever, and that's going to serve you well. And the Messenger does not have the ability to do that. You cannot max out the stability on the Messenger. So this is the greater of the two in terms of Crucible, the way that it's going to play out. So like you saw, I got small bore on this one. It's just under maxed out. But quite frankly, that it doesn't really matter to me. At 95, the stability value is already pretty stinking good. And so I find recoil to be a non-issue with small bore. And the magazine size is only cut down to 27. And that leads me into another one of the great strengths of this pulse rifle, is that this pulse rifle is really great for managing multiple targets. You can cut down 2, 3, even 4 opponents before having to reload, depending on how accurate your shots are. So this is a great crowd control weapon, and you'll see that in this video, getting several multi-kills and going on kill streaks and only reloading 1, maybe 2 times in the entire firefight. And when you have Feeding Frenzy on it, like mine does, then you can get reloads really, really quickly in between kills, and it's a non-issue. So what are some skills that you want to look for when re-rolling this pulse rifle? Well, there are a number of skills for pulse rifles that people like to use. One of them is Head Seeker. Now, Head Seeker, if you're not familiar with it, makes it so that when you chain body shots together, then your subsequent headshot is going to do additional damage. And that's a nice skill to have on a pulse rifle, since pulse rifles generally tend to pull straight up. So it's just going to naturally give you additional precision damage as you put the reticle on someone's chest and pull the trigger. Now the thing about this pulse rifle is that its stability can be perfect, meaning that it's going to have little to no recoil. Now because of that, I find Head Seeker to be kind of not needed. I find that I'm getting consistently the 3 headshots, and you'll see that a lot in these bursts. You see lots of yellow numbers. And I think that comes when you're just an accurate player, generally speaking. When you have a pulse rifle like this that has stability as good as this one has, you see, look at that, 38, 38, 38 on every shot on that one kill there. And occasionally, I mean, yeah, you're going to get body shots. But I find that Head Seeker's kind of not necessary on this gun. You can use it, and it'll help you out maybe if you're a little bit less accurate. But for my taste, I find it to be a little bit of a waste of a perk on this particular pulse rifle. So that's why I like Feeding Frenzy. I like Feeding Frenzy because I want to be able to juggle multiple opponents. So I get a quick kill, and be able to reload the gun really, really quickly so I'm ready for the next engagement. I find that to be a lot more useful than Head Seeker. But Head Seeker's still not a bad skill to go with. People also like to use Third Eye. And just like Messenger has Third Eye on it, you can get Third Eye on this. Makes it so that you can see your radar while you're ADS, and that's a very nice perk to have. I wouldn't mind having that. If I could tailor make this one to my liking, I would replace Hidden Hand with Third Eye. I'd prefer to have my radar active while I ADS. It just makes for some better map awareness. So Third Eye is a great choice to have. I think that Hidden Hand is a bit of a waste of a perk. I wouldn't recommend that you actually try for it. Now, like I said, this isn't my ideal roll on this gun. It's just the first roll that I got that I could live with, and I'm happy with it. I'll probably try to re-roll it once I stock up on some more parts, but since this is my alternate account and it doesn't have a lot of parts, this is just the one that I'm going to stick with for now. So I'd be interested to hear what your rolls are and what you kind of like on yours, because I think that different people prefer different things. So how do you like your hopscotch? And so here's another question. Is it worth grinding for the hopscotch? Because this gun is completely RNG based. There's no guarantee you're ever going to get this gun. It's just pure luck as you play in the strike playlist and as you play in the Prison of Elders. In fact, I farmed over 100 strikes and gave up. I was like, you know what, forget it. I don't need it. I'll be fine without it. And after I gave up, I was actually doing a Prison of Elders run on this character because I wanted to get a good legendary sniper rifle. So I was actually after a Her Benevolence, and lo and behold, at the end of the Prison of Elders run, I was awarded a Hopscotch Pilgrim. So I was like, I don't believe it. So I'd be also interested to hear how many attempts it took you guys to get your hands on one, if you have one at this point. So I was kind of not blessed by RNG because it took so long to get. So is it worth it? I would say honestly, yeah, I would say it's worth farming a little bit for. The strike playlists are a good place generally just to get weapon parts and things of the sort anyways, so it's not bad to go in there and play some strikes and switch things up a bit. So sure, I'd say it's worth grinding for, but maybe not to the point of obsessing over and playing hundreds of strikes for. I don't know at that point if it would be worth it or not. So I'd be interested to see. Now here's a guy who got some lovin' in on me. So anyways, yeah, now teabagging to me is just funny. It's just funny, especially when he was on top of the enemy leaderboard, so maybe he was feeling a little cocky, I don't know. But I ended up killing him 3 times in the next 45 seconds, so I kind of got my vengeance in. But anyways, Hopscotch, you'll see here, look at just juggling so many opponents simultaneously. And I don't teabag. I'm not a teabagger. But if I get teabagged, I will dance in return when I get a kill on you and I get a second to do it. So look at that. Just juggling so many opponents back to back to back. This is just one of the reasons I love this gun is because of the crowd control. Such a great gun for crowd control. Well, I hope that this review's been helpful for you. Hopefully you enjoyed the gameplay, and let me know your thoughts on the Hopscotch when you get one to drop, if you have one. Thanks for stopping by, Guardians, and we'll catch you later.